Join the movement. Go all electric with Pure Electric.
Welcome to Dorothy. Dorothy was built on Yuggera country, west of Brisbane, and this is the story of her restoration and relocation to Guringai land on the New South Wales Central Coast. We wish to acknowledge and honour the traditional owners who have nurtured these magnificent lands for millennia. Dorothy was built in the 1930s on a farm southwest of Ipswich in Queensland from wood felled on the property. The family took loving care of her for many years. But when the farm was sold, the new owners let her fall into disrepair and finally put her up for sale. Like most Queenslanders, she had been built with great features to manage the heat. Dorothy was built with wide verandas on the north and west sides, high ceilings in most rooms, lattice gates and shutters on the western side, hoods over the windows, highlights for ventilation across rooms, and she was built up on poles to allow ventilation from below. Dorothy was cut up into 3 pieces and carted on trucks down to her new home at Narara Ecovillage, where the house relocators put her back together again and delicately backed her into position. It was all a bit nerve-wracking, but the guys from Mackay's knew what they were doing. Then the big job of restoration and retrofitting began. There were some challenges in meeting the high sustainable building requirements of an eco-village, but our architect Graham Hunt from Delisle Hunt and Wood was full of solutions. We tried to make our sustainability improvements in keeping with Dorothy's age, e.g. ceiling fans, not air conditioning, curtains with insulated lining, not modern blinds, pelmets over the windows, and using tank water throughout the house. But of course we needed some modern technology. We used a whole house filter and a pressure bladder, which provides 60 litres of water before the pump has to come on. First, the walls. Dorothy has a timber frame, weatherboards, and vertical timber boards for the lining. She needed the lead paint removed from the weatherboards and R5 insulation. Villagers were worried about the lead paint flying about, so we took the weatherboards off-site and put in the insulation from the outside and then replaced the clean boards. The lead paint was stripped using Peel Away, a soy-based, non-toxic stripper. Then the roof. Sadly, the old galvanised roof was very rusty, which was no good for rainwater collection and had some holes. So we replaced it with Zincalume, which was very shiny to start with, but has now weathered nicely. There was no ceiling insulation, and we needed to put in R7 bats. A problem was a shortage of bats in COVID times, so we used R3.5 and doubled them up. The windows were probably our biggest challenge. Apart from some obvious repairs, old windows don't fit tightly, and of course they are singled glazed. But we saw them to be one of Dorothy's most charming features. Indeed, we carried pieces of coloured glass around for months as we looked to match her fixtures and fittings. Then we found Magnitite. They used special high-quality perspex to double glaze all our panes. Extra panes for opening windows are held on with magnetic tape around the frame, which stops any gaps. We used eco-colour paints, both inside and out. Australian-made paints which are free of VOCs, volatile organic compounds, which means they are non-toxic and do not smell. We really appreciated this when we painted the inside of the house ourselves. We know from the farm family that Dorothy was never good at managing the winters, even in Queensland. She needed lots of insulation, but we also wanted a heating system. We went for water-filled radiators, an old-fashioned technology, but with a modern twist of using a heat pump for the hot water. This system allows separate control of each room and is quiet and does not use up oxygen in the house. Dorothy's first source of power back on the farm was a diesel generator for the milking shed with one 7-watt globe for the house. Now she generates over 10 kilowatts of solar power. As an eco-village, we run on electricity. We all have solar panels, and we share a microgrid and a large battery. Dorothy's roof with lots of angles wasn't designed for easy installation, but there are benefits. The easterly panels catch the morning sun, and the westerly panels catch the last of the afternoon sun. The biggest threat to Dorothy's Queenslander image was filling in the downstairs, but it was necessary to provide thermal mass. The under the house now has a concrete slab, double brick walls around the inside walls of the study, and reverse brick veneer on the outer walls. Instead of polishing the slab, we chose a more rustic finish, which was easy to apply ourselves. Livos products are natural and VOC-free and can be painted on with a lambswool mop. We chose an Aardvoss product with a coloured tint called Vindu Ochre, which added a rustic impression and didn't require buffing. We are absolutely delighted with the way Dorothy turned out. We never liked modern houses, and now we have a lovely old house with modern sustainability credentials. An added thrill to our renovation was the opportunity of being filmed by Restoration Australia. So you can see our full story in Series 5 on iView.